Claes Oldenburg was a groundbreaking artist who emerged as a leading figure in the pop art movement during the 1960s. Oldenburg was known for his imaginative and larger-than-life sculptures of everyday objects. He created sculptures such as hamburgers, ice cream cones, and clothespins. Oldenburg had a unique ability to transform the mundane into something extraordinary. By using humor, playfulness, and a sense of wonder, Oldenburg challenged the traditional definitions of art and made it into something people could connect with on a personal level. Oldenburg's works hold a special place in the art world because it invites us to see the beauty and meaning in the objects we often overlook. His sculptures, which have an unconventional and large scale, reminding people to think critically about what consumer culture and the relationship between art and daily life really is. Oldenburg's legacy is still felt today, and his bold and playful ideas continue to inspire artists to push boundaries and rethink what art can be. Oldenburg created much of his artwork during the 1960s and 1970s, a time of rapid cultural and social change. The post-war World War II economic boom brought a rise in mass production and consumerism. Yet, movements for civil rights and anti-war protests pushed people to question societal values. Oldenburg's art reflected upon this era, using everyday objects to critique and celebrate the world around him. His artwork captures the spirit and energy of the time, making him a powerful figure in modern art history. Next, the journey of Claes Oldenburg as an artist was shaped by his unique background and curiosity about the world around him. Oldenburg was born in 1929 in Stockholm, Sweden, and later moved to Chicago as a child. Oldenburg studied the art history at Yale University and trained in fine arts at the School of Art Institute in Chicago. Later, Oldenburg moved to New York City in the 1950s and found himself drawn to the energy of the city's art scene, where abstract expressionism was giving way to new forms like pop art, as well as playful absurdity of Dada and Surrealism. This is where Oldenburg met Alan Copro, who influenced Oldenburg and began to explore how everyday objects could become the center of his work. Also, the booming consumer culture of the 1960s deeply influenced Oldenburg's art. America was filled with advertisements, mass production, and a fascination with material goods, and Oldenburg used his art to both critique and celebrate this cultural obsession. He reimagined familiar objects like hamburgers, toilets, and ice cream cones as monumental scale, encouraging people to see them in a new light. For example, his soft sculptures like Soft Toilet in 1966 transformed hard functional objects into floppy fabric sculptures that were unexpectedly playful. A little known detail about Oldenburg is how experimental he was with his materials. Oldenburg worked with from heavy plaster to vinyl, constantly testing the limits of sculpture. His work also became a family time when he began collaborating with his wife, Koos van Beurden, on bold, large-scale public installation. Two of Claes Oldenburg's most influential works were The Store in 1961 and Lipstick Ascending on Caterpillar Tracks in 1969. These two works captured his playful yet thought-provoking approach to art. The Store was a more unique installation in New York City, where Oldenburg turned a rented storefront into a gallery filled with handmade sculptures of everyday goods, including pastries, dresses, and shoes that were all crafted from plaster, paint, and wire. These objects looked rough and imperfect, almost as if they were hastily made knockoffs of the real products seen in advertisements. This raw, handmade style was a deliberate choice that poked fun at the mass-produced nature of consumer goods while encouraging viewers to think about the relationship between art and commerce. Oldenburg wanted people to see art as something distant or exclusive, but as something rooted in everyday life. Oldenburg quoted, "I am for an art that takes its forms from the lines of itself, that twists and extends and accumulates and spits and drips and is heavy and coarse and blunt and sweet and stupid as life itself." Another standout work, Lipstick Ascending on Caterpillar Tracks, combined Oldenburg's humor with a sharp critique of contemporary issues. Created during the Vietnam War, this outdoor sculpture features a giant tube of lipstick perched on military tank tracks. The lipstick's soft, inflatable top contrasts with the cold, hard steel of the base. Creating an absurd and unexpected pairing, the work humorously but powerfully comments on the intersection of beauty, consumerism, and militarism during a time of political unrest. Its placement at Yale University, a hub for anti-war activism, added even more significance as the sculpture became a rallying point for protests. Both works highlights Oldenburg's niche for turning everyday objects into bold statements about society. His oversized yet unconventional sculptures encourage viewers to laugh, think, and question the world around him. By transforming familiar items into extraordinary art, Oldenburg gave a voice to the ordinary objects, making them vehicles for humor, critique, and connection. Through works like The Store and Lipstick, Oldenburg reminds us that art can be both playful and deeply meaningful, bridging the gap between high culture and everyday life. Claes Oldenburg's influence on the art and artists who came after him is clearly visible. His ability to take everyday objects and transform them into monumental, thought-provoking sculptures opened the door for others to challenge traditional ideas about what art could be. His playful approach to scale, materials, and subject matter can be seen in the works of artists like Jeff Koons. Both Oldenburg and Koons explore themes of consumerism, humor, and the ordinary. Oldenburg's contributions helped cross the line between high art and daily life, inspiring movements like installation art and public art to focus more on accessibility and a connection with audiences. Next, when Oldenburg's work first appeared, reactions seemed to be mixed. Some critics were skeptical, unsure if oversized hamburgers or soft toilets could be considered serious art. But others recognized his genius, praising his ability to make art relatable, funny, and deeply reflective of the times. As part of the pop art movement, Oldenburg helped redefine how people saw art. Today, his work is celebrated not just for the creativity, but for his ability to make us question our relationship with objects, consumer culture, and the world around us. To wrap up, Oldenburg's lasting impact lies in how he encouraged us to see the beauty and meaning in the ordinary. His sculptures remind us that art doesn't have to be confined to galleries or museums. Art can be found in the objects we encounter every day. By transforming the familiar into something extraordinary, Oldenburg created a legacy that continues to inspire artists and audiences to date. His work invites us to think, laugh, and see the world in a completely new way, a gift that will resonate for generations to come.